I love how you slip into we. When you talk about patients, you don't make it a we, they thing. It's you together with the patient on that journey. And I've seen you in action, so I know what that looks like. And I see the amazing difference that you make with patients in the way that you are able to be non-judgmental and to offer them hope and that model of, if I can do it, you can do it. I hear that message come from you. So if you could share with others what you think are some of the key ingredients for success, if you will, some of the things you have in mind when you first meet a patient, which you do in the ED Bridge to Treatment program. You will actually meet them in the emergency room as soon as you get the word that there's a patient there who is being seen for opioid use disorder. How do you initiate that contact with the patient in order to offer the kind of support that's so valuable?
Well, basically, I kind of always know what I felt like when I was asking for help. I basically was just like, I'm here to help. How can I help you? What do you need from me? You know, do you want me to support you? Do you have any questions? Do you want me to help write out some questions before the doctor comes back in? And then I also kind of lay it out of what to kind of expect for the next steps while they're in triage, trying to do the fast tracking pace to get to the main doctor to get prescribed the Suboxone, and then for us to do the care coordination through a tablet to meet with one of the social workers or care coordinators, and to share with them that no matter when they leave today, that we're going to call them the next day, we're going to be with them through this transition, whatever that may look like. Because they may be referred to a higher level of care or to another program that seems best fit for them at the time. And we will help guide them to make those phone calls, make those adjustments. So they kind of feel like, okay, I may not be going where I thought I was going, but I have a peer with me to help, you know, that it's okay that I'm being referred to a different place. Because a lot of times if you don't have someone like that with you, you give up again, you know, and you kind of are like, well, they're not going to take me seriously either. You just get all those shameful feelings again that you're already working with. So yeah.
It sounds like you can really relate to those feelings that the patient has, where you understand because of your lived experience what it feels like to be scared, confused, you mentioned, and the shame.
Yeah.
So you're turning your painful experiences into a platform for being supportive to someone else.
Right. I mean, for my personal experience, obviously, you know, it took a lot of trial and error to get where I'm at. You know, for my part of my journey at one point, for my substance use, I did Suboxone maintenance at one point in time, and it worked well for the moment of my journey. There's no one size fits all. I also did methadone maintenance at one point in my recovery journey, and at that time, I actually excelled and did really well for that moment. And then around 2012 is when I got fully in recovery. I was on synthetic bath salts, a chronic IV user, and I've been in recovery and clean off everything since 2012. So I'm 9 years in recovery. I know what it's like to be on Suboxone. I know what it's like to be off of it. It is an excellent thing to be prescribed to when you're struggling and trying to figure everything out. You know, so for me, like having those experiences already, it shows a patient that, one, I believe that if someone wants to be on it for the rest of their lives, that is okay. That is perfectly fine. If you don't want to, that's perfectly fine. You will talk to your doctor and your provider and say like, hey, maybe in a year or two, or whenever you feel like it, you just have that open conversation with your provider, and then you guys can discuss about tapering down or whatever feels comfortable. And if you start feeling scared or feeling anxious, you guys can talk again and be comfortable and go back to where you were. There's no one size fits all. For me personally, I'm not on anything, but that is okay. I support anyone that is on Suboxone. It's harm reduction. And it just shows that, there's another way of life, and that, everybody's program and recovery is different.
Yeah, I hear that message from you
absolutely.
so clearly. I mean, I found myself, feeling like the patient who is with my peer. And the message that hit the mark for me was that you're not putting the patient into a box.
Nope.
You're not forcing them to be, what your image is
Absolutely.
of a person with addiction.
Yep.
You're saying everyone is different and has their own path, their own journey, and you're going to support them. And part of the beauty of that, besides that it makes the patient feel like a unique person, not a number, is also that you're removing the shame of it all.
Oh, absolutely.
And I can hear in your voice, you were there. What helped you, and what do you think helps our patients get beyond that shaming?
Basically, just building your self-confidence back. When I started volunteering through Carillion with this program, I still had no confidence. I was in recovery 4 or 5 years. I'm a single mother. She's about to be 8. But that's all I was doing was, I'm in recovery. I'm not using a substance. I have my family back. All I know, I'm being a good mother, But I know that I still needed that something was missing, that passion of mine. And then through working through the volunteer program and knowing that I can give back, that I can help people, and just with all the other Carillion staff members and providers, just them being so supportive of me and also the peer program, it just shows that they hear us, they are listening. And for me to be where I'm at today, I just know, me sharing my story, it helps other patients wherever they're at, that they can finish school, they can, work on one class at a time, trying new different things. I've grown tremendously, and and I'm still continuing to grow. Obviously, I have a long way ahead of me, but if I didn't, Carillion's just very supportive of everyone, and we just want everyone to get better and have the best system-wide healthcare that you can. And, I just think just having peers involved in every department, it just shows that you're not alone.
So Kim, it sounds like you have clearly gotten beyond shame to hopefully feeling really proud of yourself, and how you've turned your experiences into a plus. It's really a strength of yours that you can tap into those experiences and make a world of a difference in the patients. Do you hear that gratitude from the patients? Is that part of what feels good about this job?
Yes, absolutely. I've been lucky to be with individuals when I was just their volunteer peer, and some are, doing really well now, 3.5 years later. They still struggle for certain things, but we're working on different behaviors, different boundaries, family dynamics, but they are maintaining their sobriety, and, they have a job, and
they have their children like you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they, and just seeing the transformation,